set fires. Now his mind is gone, and he only thinks about nurturing the bloodflies.
Face is covered. Grand Guard won't like that.
I need a nap.
This was once my world. All things, from the northernmost shores to here, Karnaka in the south.
What I wouldn't give for a bottle of pear soda. More Grand Guard soldiers. Best to avoid. Boots and...
I'm hungry.
It's just been one gala after another, and the season's just getting started.
Yell if you find anything suspicious.
Hello? Anybody? Don't maybe search the whole place. I don't have time.
I wonder if the rumors are true about the crown killer.
I wonder who that was.
Really? Call it a bunch of degenerates.
I wonder what I'm dealing with.
He says keep alert.
Something feels wrong.
I've been alert. And he says yeah, but this time.
He goes through their personal items, takes anything that looks valuable. He told them he needed the case of Prosecco as evidence, also the gold goblets.
The impertinence! No one says no to me. Not if they expect to be paid, that's for certain.
This man likes his job, performs it with enthusiasm. I'd be careful if I were you. He's got a scheme going with several domestics who supply him with things he can sell on the black market. In return, he doesn't arrest them for stealing from their employers.
How'd the execution go?
Use your eyes. They all died. Yeah, there was some old man screamed and blubbered like one of them was the last woman in the Isles. Tried to throw her a bouquet of wild mimosas. They had to drag him away.
I'm more interested in the cleanup detail. Anyone been assigned yet to cart up the bodies? Sometimes they're still wearing watches and lockets and the like.
Really? It never occurred to me. When the lieutenant comes back, I'll ask if she needs a couple of volunteers.
Good man. That way we can get them someplace private. Maybe even look for silver fillings. That takes time. Trust me.
Without the businesses operated by the upper class, the working poor would be lost. So mysterious with your face covered.
Yes, she laughed along with the others, but really she was appalled.
Honestly,
She doesn't understand how people can be so cruel. They are her playmates, and when one inevitably dies, she but sends word, and the replacement arrives within a week.
This sure reeks. I've got to get a spare uniform.
So he says, keep alert, and I says, I am alert. I've been alert. And then he says, oh yeah, but this time, I really mean it.
I close my locker before coming out. Last time I left it
I'm
open.
getting tired of the
Someone
sound
left
of
a
my own
hagfish in
voice.
my jacket.
It's like I'm talking to a stone wall for all they listen.
There is a tale, a decade and a half old. A tale most often shared from overseer to overseer, apart from the flocks entrusted to our care, apart from those we give our lives to both chastise and protect. Sometimes, this tale is told within our mightiest enclaves, and sometimes it is told around campfires during our most remote pilgrimages. It is the sorry story of a man, most high within the abbey, who was banished during the rat plague. His name may not be spoken, and all written record of his existence has been erased, so grave were his errors. To fall from the pinnacle of discipline to the muddiest ditch of disgrace, that is his tale. To once wear the cloth of the high overseer, and to later bear the heretic's brand across the flesh of his face. How did this come to pass, brothers and sisters? Look to the 7 strictures, and you will know. The Abbey will not allow the shadows of the void to fall upon you. We will brandish the light or the flame as we must, to keep our charges from everlasting pain and suffering, to prevent even one among us from wandering through that endless night for time without end. The reward of a life well lived, in keeping with the 7 strictures, is the end of existence, the peace of non-being. Only those who turn from the 7 strictures risk an endless existence, adrift in the void, the dark sky without stars, the cold, lifeless ocean that surrounds us all and threatens to devour the earth and sky and all things in between. Trust in the Abbey, my friends. Trust in the Abbey. Karnaca is in great peril, brothers and sisters. Now, this is not news to those of you living through these times of crisis, but the source of your suffering might not be plain to you. Karnaca has turned away from the Abbey of the Everyman. Those leading this city would gamble with all that we have built, with your very families. If the Abbey is pushed away, anarchy will befall this city. A chaos not seen since the time of the Great Burning. Karnaca has but one chance to save itself, and that is to return to the fold, to take solace once again in the litany on the White Cliff. A young girl came to me on the 14th day of the month of harvest. I will never forget her words. She looked up at me and asked what shrines to the outsider could be found across the Isles. She affected a look of innocence, but beneath it I saw guile. My suspicions arose at once, and I questioned her sharply, until she confessed to playing alone in an empty woodcarver shop at the edge of town. Each day for a week, she crept back to that place, and there in the cellar, she found cloth of purple and red, suspended from the walls, and a wretched altar of candles burned low. Some small trinkets of bone, and a few coins left by those within the Outsiders' wicked cabal. Those cursed figures who hunch and shamble just outside the lights of our city, whose faces we do not recognize, and whose voices are strange to us. The girl was taken from her home the next night, locked in a cage of iron, and toppled into the canal. Her corruption was eradicated for the safety of all those who lived around her, all of you. We harden ourselves to the cries of the apostate, to the heretic, and in doing so, we save countless others from the horrible discord that awaits them beyond death. A young girl came to me on the 14th day of the month of harvest. She looked up at...
They accept my transfer. I've got to get over
When others might choose to draw blood, you find another way. This, I think, is my highest praise. He's due for a promotion soon, he thinks. He may be right, if they base promotions on needless cruelty.
I saw guile. My sister... Woodcarver shop at the edge.
The city.
Sure, he knows how to talk with the boss. What a lick spittle.
There in the cellar, purple and red, candles burned low. Some
They say something's amiss.
coins left by those within the Outsiders' wicked cup. Figures who hunch and shamble just outside the lights of our city, whose faces do not recognize, and whose voices are strange to us. The girl was... locked in a cage of iron and toppled into the canal. Her corruption was eradicated for the safety of all those who lived around her, all of you. We harden ourselves to the heretic, and in doing so, we save countless others that awaits them beyond death. Stay to the flesh that is familiar, that of the fowl and sheep, the ox and fish from the cold ocean. Those who taste the flesh of the rat risk drifting through the void for all the remaining hours of all the remaining years, until the world is swallowed itself by the void, and all manner of things are destroyed. Set a table for your family that will keep them safe. Lay out a meal that would cause you no shame should your neighbor come to sup with you. There is a tale, a decade and a half old. A tale... I will never forget her words.
Kind of
dry.
Things aren't bad
Really
enough.
go
Now
for a
I have
whiskey
to be
or
on the
something.
lookout for
Maybe
some
one of them
no-gooder with a knife. Why me?
What shrines to the outsider could be found across the Isles?
I will ask
Spooky,
again today
someone
if this
grabbing
is
people
truly
off
her
the
chosen
street.
path. I
What
can
do they
only hope
want?
the outsider hasn't gotten to her first.
Hopefully they just leave me alone.
Three of his friends fell upon the messenger boy. They beat him for what was inside his satchel. She was lost and frightened. He offered to escort her home. In an alley, he slit her throat.
The first one to admit when I'm scared. And there. See? I said it. I'm scared. Something's up.
That tasted awful.
His lunch. Then I'm a filthy bloodfly. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
With a look of innocence, but beneath it I saw guile. My suspicions arose at once, and I questioned her. Shut.
Here?
A glittering thing. That's all it was against the spirits of the unknown. A trinket. Yet it caught my eye. Why be
They will
tempted by
rise
such
up among
gilded
them like a
nothings?
virulent swarm, devouring everything wherever they go, even
I should get a
filth.
road with break. On account of my bad feet, I should be able to complain to someone.
It's the foreigners he hates most. Those pale dandies from Tibia who talk so strangely. That's who he shadows when he's in the mood for blood.
If that was lunch, then I'm a filthy bloodfly. And that's all I'm gonna say about it.
So the others will not lose their way.
Went in their usual spot. What next?
A stream of untruth. The echoes of lies come back as the voice of the outsider. will burn a bright fire with our virtuous actions, so the others will not lose their way.
Hoping to cross paths with that monstrous assassin.
Somebody's not feeling well.
I will ask again today if this is truly her chosen path. I can only hope the outsider hasn't gotten to her first. For even the lowliest labor that is rigorous squeezes the muscles as a sponge, rinsing impurities from the mind and body.
You will not suffer a bewitching sprite to live. These young boys with filthy hair and soft skin. To him, they are emissaries from the void, and must be hung. He takes a few coins from the offering bowl every day. This one longs to explore the vast unknowns of the Pandician continent. But he curses his roving feet and tries to put these thoughts from his mind.
One way to the Abbey. Every man, and these people got to listen, they never do. It drives me mad. I was weak. I must be ever vigilant against the outsider. He knows my heart, tests me, taunts me. I will not give in. Stream of untruth. The echoes of lies come back.
Shouldn't you be looking for work or something? Isn't that what riffraff like to do? This jacket is new, but it's too tight.
He is restless and melancholy during the month of darkness. It makes him do bad things to those around him.
I only had a boat of my own. That's the one.
Got to ask her where she had her silver embroidered jacket made. You're dirty, like a vagabond or a tradesman, but your clothing is nicely tailored. I miss the beaches and wind down. Lovely, if you don't mind the local. I'm scared. Something's up.
Empty words. He never intended to fulfill those promises.
Where are the overseer women? Why only men?
The women are in a special clan or something apart. They're all blind. But I don't think they're allowed to get together. The men and the women. The Abbey doesn't like it.
Maybe when they're together, they have trouble keeping their pants on.
It keeps them all focused on the strictures, I guess. Whatever you're looking for, good luck. Your face is covered. Worried someone might recognize you?
She seduced her sister's husband, knew where to kiss him, and what to promise. All to make her sister suffer. She told the overseers her brother was a witch. Even showed them some spells he had hastily scratched in his journal. They took him away.
Hello, welcome. I'm so sorry we're out of rosemary soap today. You'll have to come back another time. Such nice hair you have.
He was beaten as a youth. The bone in his jaw never set right. Yet, he refrains from mistreating others.
As bad as things are here, I love the light in the evenings, down near the water. My parents were from Tivia, but I was born right here.
She placed bloody handprints on his door, and then notified the authorities of what she'd found. See the Abbey of Everyman rule over all the Isles. Then there will finally be some order.
Sometimes I wonder if it wouldn't be better to craft the music boxes at each enclave. Here in the city, for instance. Instead, they're made in a few locations, kept from us, and shipped out. It seems dangerous.
Far worse to have the knowledge and construction materials scattered across the Isles. The metals used to make the devices are unusually rare. The techniques, if applied by anyone but the most faithful, resolute overseers, would border on heresy.
I suppose you're correct. It grieves me to imagine what cultists might accomplish if they took the music boxes and perverted them for their own ends.
Exactly, brother. Much better to protect such a powerful tool. Assemble them in secret and dispatch them across the Empire where they're needed in the fight against the supernatural.